2 games into the season, Nuno, how have those 2 games gone? How has the start gone compared with what you expected?
The results are not the ideal, but honestly, the important part is that we felt in both games that we could done better. So that tells us that we have to improve, and that tells us also that we are ready to compete. Because honestly, none of both teams were better than us. So different games, different situations, but the evidence that we can compete and we are ready for it.
Tell us a little bit about the project here at Wolves. What do the owners, what do they want realistically to try to achieve with Wolves?
It's not about the owners, it's about a club. It's about a club, it's about the city, it's about fans. We have to know what was reality before, where we came from, where we are. So year 1 was positive. We achieved the promotion to the Premier League. Some of us realized that we did faster. We did in the first year. And so things are moving in the direction that we want. But we have a lot to improve. We are a club that wants to grow, wants to become even bigger than it already is, and things take time. Requires a lot of energy, requires the motivation on a daily basis to always improve yourself, always give the 100% of yourself. But what we want is to become a club able to compete against any other one. So realistic, this is what we want, to have a team that competes against the best.
You played at a high level, you've coached at a high level in Portugal and in Spain. What persuaded you that Wolves was a great next step for you as a coach?
First, what I mentioned, building. The word building, I think, is the perfect one that, for me, in the moment of my career, I really want. I want to build together with all of us here in Wolves. First, a team, then help, and with all the experience that we acquire in other competitions, to help the club to become better. But the building of a team, creating an identity of a club, there are things that really, for me, are really important.
You mentioned building and growing, and I know that that's very important. I remember, for example, the last time you played Manchester City last season in the Carabao Cup, and you were doing very well, and people started to talk about Wolves almost like the Manchester City of the Championship. Should what's happening here at this club be compared to what Manchester City are trying to do, or are indeed doing?
We have to look things in a real perspective, knowing that what is Manchester City now is not what was Manchester City 10 years ago or 9 years ago. So we cannot be compared with Manchester City because they are nothing look the same. They are totally different. Maybe if we look back in time and we look at other clubs like City in those moments, can be something similar, could be, but I don't know. What I really know is what we are doing here. We have a young squad. We come from Championship. We are champions of the Championship. We must be proud of what we did last season, and now we go to build our own idea, our own identity. We don't want to be compared to other clubs. We want to create our own idea, and that the first step is to create a style of play, a shape, something that everybody knows what we are talking about. Not only here, the players here, but people that see, they know how Wolves play. But we have to improve, and building means not only the squad that you have to look to the other places in the club, the under-23s, the under-18s, because these are the players that will be in a few years' time Wolves players. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But we have our own style. We have our own idea. We don't want to be equal to nobody. We don't want to be compared with nobody. We want to be Wolves, a team and a squad that is humble, that is hard-working people, just like that. And we want to achieve success, but success takes time and requires a lot of patience, persistence, be relentless, all these things.
Well said. Looking at your present team, you have added players of the calibre of João Moutinho, Rui Patricio, Jimenez. What difference do players like those guys make to your team at the moment?
First, they increase the quality and the talent that they already have, plus the experience that they have acquired in other national teams, playing big competitions like World Cup, European Cup champions. So this mix of players that already been here in growing with us, knowing the process, knowing the idea, when a player comes and brings more quality, more talent, it's better. It's better. But the balance in terms of age, in terms of experience, this is what is important to have. Always be balanced, always be knowing that each moment, each player is going to give something to the team different than the other option. So, but of course, having better players increases the possibilities of playing better.
The game at Leicester on Saturday was a tough lesson.
Yeah.
What have you learned? What have the players learned?
I think everybody realized what happened there. First, we should be more clinical. This is the word that we keep repeating ourselves because it's true. The chances that we had in the beginning of the game could totally dictate a different result and a different situation of the game. We are not, and then we were, unfortunately, we had our own goal. But that was a lesson telling us that we should be more clinical. But the positive aspect that we controlled the game from minute one. We managed the game. We were the better team on the pitch during that moment. So after the result compared to the performance, sometimes you play better and you don't win, and sometimes you don't play better and you win. In these moments of the competitions, in these moments of the team building, if you wish, I'm happy. I'm happy with the way we perform.
For you yourself, just looking at this season, I know it's a building process, but at this season, you're first in the Premier League. What for you would be a successful season for Wolves?
I don't put aims, not even for me, not even for the team. We'll go game by game. My clear reference to improve each game, each day. So if the next game we can improve something from the last performance, this is a growing step, and this is the way we want.
Manchester City on Saturday. You know about them. You know how good they are. You know how well they've started this season. How do Wolves? How should you approach this particular challenge? Is it a challenge? Do you attack them? Do you seek to frustrate them? How do you approach a unique challenge like this for Wolves?
The same way we approach each and every opponent, with the respect of knowing that they have strengths, but at the same time trying to recognize their weakness and take advantage of them, and always never change. We don't change. We adapt. We aim to create a team or a shape able to adapt to all the opponents, give answers to all the questions that the game gives us. Maybe we are not there yet, but this is where we want to be. So to be like that, we cannot change. You must stay with the same idea and approach the game like first game in competition championship, always respecting the opponent and trying to make our ideas stronger in the pitch.
Smashing. My very final question is for a club that's looking to build and looking to grow. You have this opportunity on Saturday. You're playing the best team in the country in front of a full stadium at Molineux. Isn't this where a club like Wolves should be?
It's where we are. It's where we are, and we are delighted.